is only war.
What is up, gents? 40k Dirtbags here. We got another battle report for you today. We're doing a 3-part series again for an RTT that we actually just won for Chaos Space Marines. Now I couldn't wait to talk about this list with you guys. It's 110 cultists. People thought I was insane bringing this to the tournament. I created this list when the Chaos Space Marine nerf happened, when the Cursed Cultists, when my list basically just got killed off. So it sucked because I painted all 3 full units of a Cursed Cultist, like bought the models, painted up, probably one of the best paint jobs I've done in a very, very long time. And it was doing very well in tournaments. I placed really high in a lot of different events, but they basically just killed that. So a lot of people were testing out different lists, testing out different tactics, stuff like that. Just wait till you see this list. Wait till you see what we did in each game. And leave me in the comments below if it's crazy. You don't have to do it. You don't have to try it out. Just kind of test it out. You know, throw some models on the table. A lot of them can be 3D printed. I actually just 3D printed 100 cultists. 80 of them are 3D print. The other 20 I had already. So if you have an opportunity to get it, it's going to save you a lot of money. Who knows what it's going to be like with the new codex coming out. But if you guys are new to the channel, we do a lot of competitive battle reports and tactical videos up on YouTube. Also, we have a Patreon, which is specific stuff geared toward patreon.com. You can't really get it on YouTube, so we do a lot of stuff only on Patreon, like battle reports and also live streaming games, especially for any grandmasters want to see specific videos or tactical stuff up on Patreon. That's over on there. So if you guys want to support the channel, wouldn't be doing this without my Patreon. So thank you so much for supporting me. We're going to be growing a lot in 2024. We are about 1,200 away from 10,000 subscribers. Didn't think we would get there super fast, but it's been a grind. And we're about $95, give or take, away from the Patreon $1,000 event giveaway. So last time we got 500, we did a huge giveaway with a bunch of prize support, models and stuff like that. We're doing that again with Patreon 1,000. So once we get to $1,000 a month, we're going to be giving away up to $1,000 worth of stuff to all of our Patreons. So really appreciate the support, and I want to give it back to you guys, not only with the videos and stuff like that, but with the everything. So this is going to be a recorded video for the first 3 videos. We're going to go over game 1, 2, and 3, and the list is going to be exactly the same. So I'm going to go over the list so you guys can see the same thing in every single video, and then at the end of it, we're going to go into the battle report. So if you guys have already seen this, fast forward to that part of the video, and we're going to go over picture by picture, frame by frame, and turn by turn to kind of go over what we did good, how we could have got better, and what fucking crazy list this is. So let's get into the list. Alright guys, so I'm going to be posting the list in the description below, but this is the list. This is, let me there you go. So zombies are cultists. All right, so we were testing this out at RTT. I never ran it before. This is the first 3 games I ran this list. So zombies are cultists. Now the only reason we use zombies because Craig had them and they were color coded. There's no way I'm going to be able to move 100 models on the table and not have them color coded, because it would just be madness. So we actually used regular cultists for the heavy weapons like the stubbers, the flamers, and the crack missiles, and then all the regular guys have long guns. So the long guns have 2 shots each within 12 inches. It's basically rapid fire. I believe the strength didn't really matter. I think they're strength 3, but the strength doesn't matter because this list is all about rerolls, auto wounding on 5s, and stuff like that. But there are 100 zombies, cultists. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mans of 20. There's 1 man of 10. And basically they're all Tzeentch. I think I had 1 unit of Slaanesh, but I played him as Tzeentch the whole game because I forgot. So basically everything is Tzeentch, and that 10 man up there is Nurgle. They were mainly there for action, secondaries, coming on the table edge, blocking out the deployment zone, whatever it may be, but that's Nurgle. This list has changed a little bit since the last time I played it, so I'm trying to remember exactly what we had. And then we had 2 Nurgling units. They're really good for secondaries. They're just really good for chaos in general. Abaddon is the warlord. He's in this list specifically for the rerolls, because if everything is Tzeentch, you're able to crit on 5s and auto wound. So I don't care what the strength is, I'm just trying to roll as many 5s as possible with a full reroll, and everything's within 6 inches. So you basically tag off one guy, which means the whole unit gets full rerolls. And that's kind of what we've been doing with the 4+ invuln save with our Cursed Cultist build, which you've guys seen plenty of videos of. Then we have a 10-man Legionnaire unit. I love the 10-man with Abaddon, especially because if there's enough of them, he's going to get to his target, most likely. If there's 5 of them, they're a lot easier to kill, but if there's 10 of them, you can kind of like hopefully make your 4-up invuln saves and then pick off the ones you don't really need, and then once you get into combat, you just murder whatever you touch. Why we have them is because Abaddon can then reroll his Dark Pact with the icon in the unit, and also full rerolls to wound on an objective. So if an enemy unit's on an objective, Abaddon gets full rerolls to wound. He already has full rerolls to hit, so the whole squad plus himself has full rerolls to hit and full rerolls to wound with his devastating wounds. It's a blender. 5-man Terminator unit, they are Slaanesh. We also are using a Sorcerer in this list because of the -1 AP. So now anything that I want to target on a 2+, it's now everything is -1 extra AP on all their guns. So all these AP 0 shots now become AP 1, which is kind of deadly. Honestly, it is just fucking nuts. I'll tell you what I disliked about this unit. This unit got taken out, but for these 3 videos, they're going to be in and we're going to be talking about it. Hellbrute is another key unit to this list. The Hellbrute with the Abbey combo. Anytime you crit, you get lethals and sustain. So with the chaos wording, Tzeentch, Nurgle, whatever it may be, you crit on a 5, meaning that you get lethal and sustain on a 5. So if you're able to crit on a 5, basically with the Hellbrute within 6 inches of you, you're actually going to be able to crit on a 5, lethal and sustain. So what you do is you roll, let's say 20 dice, you get 10 5s. Those 5s auto wound, so basically you put 5 dice to the side, and then you put 5 more into the bucket because they explode. And then you re-roll the ones that missed, and then you do the same thing. Let's say you get 5 more 5s, you pick out the 5s, put them to the side, and then add 5 more to the pot. Then you take out all the misses, and then you re-roll all those ones that hit on a 5, and then you roll a wound. So that's the crit that's the lethal and sustain on a 5. That's what the whole point of this list is. And that works for everything within 6 inches. So again, if you tag somebody within 6 inches of the Hellbrute and Abbey, that whole 20-man blob gets full rerolls to hit, critting on 5s, and lethal and sustain. It's just insane, guys. So we have 2 Predators. These are 3 printed by our boy Zach. We're not doing the last cannon, it's the autocannon, so it's basically this one. It's the autocannon with heavy bolters. I think I tried the last cannons. I'm going to be switching it to the heavy bolters, but the last cannons is what we used for this event with the Havoc Launcher and the combi weapon. Then, if you guys have noticed already, you're like, well, what the fuck is that? That is a crown. So that's the Chaos Crown. We used it a lot in 9th edition. 9th edition, you basically got to do you gained a CP, I believe, every turn. So instead of Abaddon gave him a CP, the crown gave us a CP, and everything within a certain distance of it had a 4-up invuln save. So just such a clutch model. And now in 10th edition, it's even better because with fortifications, you can put them literally right next to a terrain feature. Before, you had to remove a terrain feature and put it down if you couldn't fit it, and it had to be like 3 inches away from a terrain feature. Now, you literally just put it fucking right next to a terrain feature, and it's good to go. So then everything within 9 inches of it, wholly within, has a 4-up invuln save, and it's per model, it's not per unit. So let's say half my unit's in it, half my unit's out of it, the one that's in it gets the 4-up invuln save. So let's say I have 10 guys out of 9 inches. I'm not going to make the saves on them. I'm going to make the saves on the 10 guys that are in the 9 inches, like my cultists. So it's really, really good with spam, like the cultist spam and a cursed cultist, stuff like that. And even tanks. So tanks are wholly within 9 inches, which most of the time they're getting the 4-up invuln save. Guys, it is just such a good combo. So that is the 2,000 point list. So if you guys are at the point now, you probably fast forwarded on game 2 and game 3, but we're going to go into game 1. So let's go into game 1, 2, or 3, and then we'll get into it. All right, guys, so this is game 2 against our boy, Corey. He's actually running his Chaos Demons, Nurgle, mainly. Really like his list. We talked about it at the end of the game, and there's not a lot that I would change. So if you guys are into the Demons army and you want to play Nurgle, especially, this list is super fun. A lot of 3D prints, but they're, you know, the right size, stuff like that. So we have a unit of the bugs. I believe they get full rerolls on a unit. Something really good. They actually do a lot for this list. 3 defilers, Nurgle. I believe they're all toughness 11 or something, like really high. And then we have 2 great unclean ones. And Rodicus. I think it's Rodicus and then 2 great. Yeah, so 1 great unclean one and 1 Rodicus. Yes. So only 1 great unclean one and 1 Rodicus and 3 defilers. Then we have 2 Nurgle units and then a ton of plague bearers. So he has Epidemius, because once you kill 7 models, the next command phase you'll get a CP, which is cool. Before it was like a running tally and then you had to do something, but now it's just like, all right, if your army killed 7 models, pretty simple, you get a CP, which I think should be in almost every list if you're running, you know, this type of list. These guys I think are all OPSEC 2. If they fail their command leadership test, they get to make D3 models, which I was confused about when we first started the game. I'll go over that, but I believe it's 60 of these dudes. They're just super hard to kill. Let me make myself smaller for you guys. Okay, so this is the terrain. Now me and Corey were talking about this in the beginning of the day. When I saw his list and he saw my list, I wanted to just face his list. My list is the sheer counter and basically perfect matchup into his list. His list is all based off of being the toughest on the battlefield, the hardest to kill, super crazy invuln save, so that way if you have a ton of like last cannon heavy shots going into you, you have a chance to save it. I'm the complete opposite. I'm just rate of fire, ton of strength 3 shots going into you, auto wounding, don't care about your toughness. It's just a complete opposite of what he wants to see. So it was hilarious when they announced us that we were playing round 2. So he really wanted to stress test it. I really wanted to stress test it. So this was just the perfect matchup for both of us. We played Sights of Power, which is one of my least favorite ones to play, but favorite ones, if that makes sense. It's just such a solely focused on who can get the most characters on objectives is going to win this game. So I like it, but don't like it, but like it. It's one of those, like, sometimes you like it, sometimes you hate it. So we're playing that mission. And then again, it's another mission, if you guys seen the first video, where I'm playing fixed and I get either 3 in the center, Dawn of War, or fucking the one that you go sideways. I forget what this setup is called, but you're basically super far away and they're all smack dab in the center of the map, where I have to try and get cleanse on 2 objectives, which is just dumb. So this is the deployment. We're basically as much as we can on the table, all centered up. I got my crown. Again, you can have it, you know, right next to a ruin if you want. With this matchup board, these forests are ruins. These things are 2 inches. Ruins. Everything's Games Workshop setup. Bottom floor line of sight blocking, and these things are basically 4 inches, so the defilers can just walk right over it, which is great for him, right? He's got some plague bearers lined up over here with Epidemius on the bottom floor. 2 units over there. He's got a unit on the backfield, the flies in the backfield, 3 defilers just right smack dab in the front. Big great unclean one right there, and a unit of dudes chilling right there. I think he put both Nurgles in reserves, just so they can come down and do deep strike. He did tactical, I did fixed. For us, we have Abaddon, same thing, as far forward as you possibly can, right next to the crown. Hellbrute is on the other side of him, right next to the crown. We have the Predator in the back, another Predator in the back. Now, whoever gets first can basically get line of sight, depending on where they move, into a bunch of stuff. Like if I move this way, I can get line of sight that way. If I move this way, I can get line of sight nowhere, so this Predator's kind of beat. But this one at least can get line of sight onto whatever he wants to shoot over here. But I don't really want to give up my Predator turn 1 to all that, the Filer shooting over there. Then we basically line up everything again. So we got everybody up front, these guys all around the crown, these guys on the other side, and then we reserve a unit like last time, and then we reserve a Nurgle unit, and the first Nurgle unit is the same as the last game where they're up front, so that way they can move up and do deploy teleport homer turn 1. Now for us, we get turn 1, so that's basically what we have to focus on, trying to get many points for fixed as we possibly can, while denying his sites of power with his characters coming down. Alright, so what we do turn 1 is we basically advance up like we did last time, and we cleanse on the 2 center objectives. We luckily rolled high enough, spent 1 CP so that we can advance, shoot, and charge for the Slaanesh, and then we can cleanse on both objectives. These guys scooch up and do the deploy, just like last time. So if you have fixed, you basically are making your list specifically for turn 1 to get secondaries like you had planned out. So for this one, that's basically all we're trying to do, is just try and cleanse as many objectives as possible. If we can only reach 1, we only get 1. If we can reach 2, we try and get 2. So they basically advance up. Hellbrute scooches on the other side of here. Abaddon moves up as well, so he's within 6 inches of both. So that way they can get lethal and sustain on whatever's within 6 inches of both of them. He's basically just waiting. Whatever comes forward, he's going to try and run out and kill. These guys are staying back, just waiting to block out some type of deep strike over here. Predator stayed back, waiting a turn. This Predator stayed back, waiting a turn, and then everything else kind of ran up to get ready for round 2. Round 1 was done with the fixed. Got our 7 points, did our job. Now we have to wait till turn 2. So his turn 1, he gets capture any outpost and secure no man's land. So kind of beat, turn 1 secondaries. It's really hard to get capture any outposts on turn 1 for really any army out there. So we had to get rid of it, and then secure no man's land. If he controls one of the objectives, he gets 2. If he controls 2, he gets 5. So he's only able to control this one. He rolled, I think, a 1 or a 2 for the advance roll on these guys, so he wasn't able to get onto the objective. So these guys are off the objective, and we were still on the objective. And then down here, he's able to get too many of the guys on here, so he's able to control that one on turn 1. So he only gets 2 points on turn 1, and we had 7. So basically we're up by 5. Now on turn 2, it's time to commit. We basically move up everybody. The blue squad, same thing. They just did cleanse again, because that's really all their job is to do. They basically run forward, get cleanse turn 1, then turn 2, just keep doing cleanse until they die. So turn 2, we get more onto this objective, and then keep 1 over there. Actually, let's go back his turn 1. So his turn 1, he just kind of scooch up creepily, so moves up a little bit, and just starts shooting bombardments, because he could shoot out of line of sight. So he just kind of tries to start peeling off some of the cultists. Doesn't do a lot, again, because the 4-up invuln save, everything within 9 inches. Most of my army is within 9 inches right now. So he's just shooting a bunch. He kills, I think, all but 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12. So he killed 8 of the blue guys. I think that's really it. So he killed just a bunch of random dudes, cultists. So that was his turn 1. Our turn 2, we bring these guys in from reserves. They're outside 9 inches of this unit. And then he rapid ingresses his big old fucking FU dude right here, like 22 wounds or something. I think this is the guy that doesn't have the Feel of Pain, and this is the guy that has the 4 of Feel of Pain. So this is the guy that comes down. We had line of sight to these guys with basically all of these, but instead we shot. I think we shot them into these guys and didn't kill a ton of them. We only killed like 3 or 4 of them. Nurglings down back here, they're doing their job. They basically came down to the deployment zone of his and just kept doing deploy teleport homer. Abaddon waited right here, just doing his job. Hellbrute's waiting, doing his job. And then these guys scooch up and they freaking unload everything onto that guy that stuck his head out. So this is where it started getting crazy. We get full rerolls to hit, exploding on 5s, critting on 5s, auto wounding, right, because of Tzeentch on this dude. So it did take some help from the Predators. So the Predators both got line of sight onto that Defiler right there that was there. One shot it, took it down a bunch. The other one shot it, took it down a bunch. these guys basically shot it that was wounded. It then exploded. Now when it exploded, it just did so many mortal wounds to his army. He does like d6 mortal wounds, I think. So he does d6 mortal wounds to this one, which, you know, I think like 4 or 5. He did a bunch of mortal wounds to this guy. He did 2 mortal wounds to the guy that has the 4 up field pain. So he made his 2 4 up field pains. He did a couple wounds to the bug guys and a couple wounds to the guys in the back. So that was the first defiler that blew up. Then we unloaded the rest of the like regular pot shots. So the green squad shot this unit. The other squad shot the other defiler that was wounded and then killed that one. So that thing also blew up. So we had 2 defilers in one turn blow up in the middle of his entire army. That defiler then took mortal wounds to this guy, mortal wounds to that guy, mortal wounds to the bugs, mortal wounds to these guys, mortal wounds to the guys in the back. Now this one, before even shooting at it, got it down to 7 wounds. So 1 defiler died, 2 defilers died. This defiler is now sitting on 7 wounds. Not good. On top of turn 2, which is all the volume of shots, and the predator is just freaking going crazy. So they were within 6 inches of the Hellbrute, but I didn't get the full rerolls because of Abaddon. So still being able to have lethal and sustain with Nurgle is just crazy. So these guys spread out in the backfield because I know he can come down within 3 inches. These guys are all just kind of moving up and trying to take over this bottom field objective, which we did. So we put enough on this objective to steal or tie it. We have this objective in the center, and we have this objective over here. So my turn 2, I got 9 for sites of power because we had 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So only 3 objectives, 3 each, and then we had 4 cleanse and 4 for deploy for teleport homers. His turn 2, he gets 3 because he didn't have anything in the center, and he only had his backfield objective. So on his turn 2, he's only able to get 3 points for primary. He picks deploy, teleport homers, and assassinate. So my characters are. Oh, okay. So I also missed something. Turn 2, the sorcerer came down in the backfield with the Terminators, and they made their charge. So they came down all the way in the corner, they shot, and then they made their charge onto Epidemius and killed Epidemius' squad on turn 2. So that was kind of huge. Yeah, that was wow. That was just a bonus. So basically come down in the back, make the charge, and then kill that. If they didn't make their charge, he was telling me he was just going to kind of flood pox or plague bearers into me, and then I wouldn't be able to kind of move or do anything because they would have just kind of surrounded me, and I would have had to desperate break out to do anything. So then he deep struck his other Nurglings in the back corner over here to kind of, you know, fight off my Nurglings. This guy scooches up, does a ton of flamer shots into my cultists over here. These plague bearers move up to kind of get some charges off on these guys. I'm going to lose a lot of cultists this turn, but I was prepared for that. The Nurglings ran up to get move block, so that way these guys can't kind of run around. Plague bearers move. They got picked up at the end of my turn. These guys are fighting over the objective down here, and nothing else came down over there. So his turn 2, he brings down the plague bearers over here. Since I think I'm in shadow, he gets like a 6-inch charge. He's got a couple plague bearer units coming down in the back here next to my Terminators. So he put down, I think, 2 or 3 units in the back here to make the charge on my Terminators to kind of tie them up or kill them. The big guy moves up, the Defiler moves up. Defiler moves this way to try and help out this bottom objective. This guy runs to the center. He's got Sticky, I believe, on this backfield objective. And the Nurglings came down to fight Nurglings to stop them from doing deploy teleport homers, which was great. Basically making a 6-inch charge because I'm in his deployment zone is awesome for Demons. So if he's able to stop my Nurglings from doing actions, that's going to save points for him every single turn. So that was his turn 2, was deploy teleport homers, which he got in my deployment zone, I believe over here, and nothing for assassinate because he couldn't really kill my sorcerer as well as Abaddon. So our turn 3, we only get 6. So we held our bottom objective and the center objective because he wasn't able to still get anything in the center. I think I spent 1 CP for this like really broken blue unit with probably 1 guy left. So he passed his leadership for 1 CP. So I was actually able to hold the center objective. So my turn 3, we get 6 for primary. We do cleanse, 2 objectives, and deploy teleport homers in the center for 1, because the Nurglings again were tied up over here, so they can't deploy. And then I think we cleansed this one with this unit. So these guys spent 1 CP to fall back, shoot, and charge. So they basically fall back and cleanse on the backfield objective, while there's still 2 units of plague bearers in this building right here. Defiler moves up, shoots, and then charges. There's a ton of plague marines over here, whittling down my Nurgle unit. I'm sorry, my cultist unit. And then these guys are all just kind of waiting to get some pot shots off on either the Defiler or shooting this way into these plague bearers or this big dude over here. So Abaddon's starting to come out to play. Legionnaires are coming out. Hellbroot's waiting back to shoot some last cannons into this guy. And there's still a bunch of cultists in this red squad to move up and get a bunch of shots off on this Defiler. So after turn 3, we kill the Defiler with all the random pot shots and some Predator help. And then down here, it's just kind of like a lost cause. I'm not really taking this back anytime soon. So I'm mainly fighting over the center and the top. Now the top, this guy died to shooting from the Predator, the Hellbrute, the rest of these guys auto-wounding on 5s, and these guys moving up and shooting just random last cannon, heavy bolter, and auto-wounding full rerolls onto the big guy. So we murdered the big guy to shooting. Couldn't get the charges from him. Nurglings fell back, so that way in case he decides to pick this unit up, I can potentially do deploy next turn. And that was my turn 3. So we kill the big guy over there, and we kill the Defiler over here. Now his turn 4, or turn 3, he gets cleanse for 5, so he's able to cleanse I believe he cleansed the center, because I don't have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So he cleansed this one definitely. He probably cleansed this one before he died. So he cleansed the top and then cleansed the bottom. And then he gets overwhelming force. And then at this point, he charges in to the Nurglings. I countercharge with Abaddon. Abaddon then by himself to the wound kills the Great Unclean one with the 4-up Field of Pain, kills him to the wound. And at that point, once he died, we basically called it. It was kind of over at that point. All he has left is a bunch of plague bearers in the back, bunch of plague bearers here, no big models, Nurgle, these guys, and another Nurgle unit down there. And that's it. He's not really going to get too many points for that, but we kind of talked it out the last 2 turns. He got 3 and 3 for primary, just saying that he held the bottom objective down here. And then when he flipped over his secondaries, he got aerial denial, which there was no way he was getting in the center. And then extend battle lines he got for 5 because he was able to control, let's just say, the back and that objective. And then on turn 5, he couldn't get anything. He kept aerial denial, couldn't get it. Tempting target, couldn't get it, and then no prisoners, couldn't get it. So I forgot to mark, but he ditched aerial denial the turn before, so he spent a CP to get engaged on all fronts. So we got 3 points for that. We gave him that corner, this corner, I'm sorry, Nurglings that corner, and then these guys in this corner. So he got 3 points for minimum engaged on all fronts. So let's go back over the list. He was super tanky, just bogs people down with bodies, and has a ton of invuln save, film of pain, stuff like that. So it's a really, really hard army to face against a normal opponent. When you bring 100 cultists or 110 cultists with a ton of just auto wounding on 5s, full rerolls, exploding on 5s, and then 2 predator cannons with the same thing, plus everything within 9 inches gets a 4-up film of pain or 4-up invuln save, it's really hard to chew through 100 cultists with a 4-up invuln save, as well as tanks, as well as Abaddon, as well as 10 legionnaires, all getting shot in the face by pew pew fire. Like, it is such an insane list. After this matchup, I was like, wow, I can actually potentially go 3-0 with this tournament. We clocked as well. Like, look at this. We had 30 to 34 minutes left after turn 3. So we were both playing well on clock. So I wasn't having an issue with time with this list because I was so used to running triple Cursed Cultists with Abaddon and a 4-up invuln save. So I was already used to running lists like this. If this is the first time you're running this list, you need a lot of practice with clock to make sure that you don't clock during a tournament. So we played clock, did great. We both did great, and we called it after turn bottom 3. Once his big guy died, there's really nothing left for him to do. So at the end of the game, we got 4 and 4 for cleanse and deploy, and then 4 and 4 for cleanse and deploy, and then we got sights of power for 15 and 15. So this is the final matchup. Again, we don't have paint scores until the very end to stop people from losing based off of paint, especially at an RTT. RTTs are made to get people to basically play 3 games in a day, practice lists, meet new people, and just have a fun time on a Saturday getting 3 games in. So we do paint scores at the end. So the max you can get is 90 points, and at the very end, the tiebreakers for second, third, and fourth are paint scores. So you get best record, 3-0, then battle points, and then we add the paint scores in for whoever tied. So that's kind of how we do it. So if you get the best record and then the best battle points, you're guaranteed first. And then second, third, and fourth are fighting over for the paint score. So we got 83 out of 90, and then Corey got 35 out of 90. So it was just a brutal loss in terms of score of points, taking him potentially out of the running for the tournament. But still, we both had a fun time. It was a huge stress test for both of us. I wanted to see how much shit I can kill with the 5-up auto wounding against his really tough models, and he wanted to see rate of fire going against that. So he knows he's not really good into just amount of shots, especially with his 4-up save and 5-up save. It's just not enough. And yeah, it was just always fun to play Corey. We talked about at the end of the game. There's nothing really I would change about his list. I really like his list. The only thing I would have changed is deep striking the defilers. So with the amount of shots I have potentially coming in at him, I'm able to kind of kill them before they get their points back. So he's able to hide them, but once he exposes them, I'd move up and just shoot the crap out of them. So if he's able to deep strike them, he's actually able to kind of get some shots off and potentially charge, making them more deadly rather than just exploding on each other, just killing the whole half of his own army. So that was the only thing I would suggest with him. He thought I was going to block out the entire field, which I could with this list, but specifically with this list, I needed to kill stuff. So I can't use them to just block out the board, which is usually what most, mass army like this does. But for me, I need my cultists to actually kill stuff, which you don't really hear that often. You mainly just hear them to block out the backfield, have a 10-man unit in the corner to do investigate signal, whatever it may be. No, my 20-man blobs are freaking deadly. They full rerolls, they auto wound, they crit, like they do all that crazy stuff. So I need them to do actions and kill stuff. I can't block out my backfield. So he had a lot of opportunity to deep strike. He could have deep struck, back in this corner, big gaps, could have deep struck back here, big gaps, could have even deep struck in his own deployment zone, right? So if he deep strikes in his own deployment zone, he has like a 6-inch charge, which he could have killed my Terminators pretty easily. He could have taken over this bottom objective pretty easily. He could have got more points faster rather than dying to all the shooting and then exploding onto his own army. So that was the only suggestion I said to him was deep strike the defilers, even 2 of them. If you want to keep 1 on the table just for turn 1, you can, but deep strike the other 2 just to be kind of more aggressive with them. But super fun list. Let me know in the comments below what you guys liked, disliked, how we can improve on the channel. If you guys want to support the channel, head over to patreon.com. All these videos actually go up first on patreon.com, so all my Dirtbag Nation gets to see these before they hit YouTube. We get to talk about it, kind of make fun of it, go over jokes, all that stuff. But head over to Discord if you guys aren't already. It's one of the best Discords out there. And we have a lot coming up in 2024. A lot more tactical videos, a lot more sponsorships, terrains, all that stuff. So merch is getting there. We have 6-cent widgets that we actually just ordered. So this is going to be coming in soon. Dirtbag dice, if you guys are interested in that. Stickers, objective markers, just hit me up on Discord. But appreciate it, guys. Let me know in the comments below. We'll see you on game 3 against Custodes, which should be a really fun one to go against because we go into crappy saves to really good saves. Let's see what we can do against that, and we'll see you in the next video soon. What's up, gents? 40K Dirtbags here. If you guys are thinking about joining the Patreon page, we're going to go over each tier and how it's going to benefit you and what you're looking for specifically to get out of 40K in 10th edition coming up. There's a lot of stuff to go over. There's a lot of tactical videos up on the channel, which is for free. There's going to be a bunch of perks that you get specifically for being a part of the Dirtbag Nation Patreon page. So first off, we have the first tier, which is $1 a month. You guys get first access to the videos over at patreon.com. You also get access to the Discord, which is specifically a private link in the Discord that only Patreon members can see. So you guys will have first access to that. Also a benefit is Patreons over the Dirtbag Nation get live streamed games on patreon.com streamed from YouTube, but this only links specifically for the patreons.com. So not only do you get first access to these videos, you also get to see live stream games specifically only on patreon.com. The next tier is the Justicar. You guys get a shout out on every single video on YouTube. You also get to support us a little bit more. You get first dibs at voting on Discord, as well as you just kind of say, hey, I just want to be a Justicar Dirtbag and support you guys a little bit more than that $1 a month here. But you get all the same access as well as the different color over on the Discord. So the third tier is the competitive Dirtbag. This tier, you get a lot more one-on-one coaching. This is a lot of the Dirtbags over on the Dirtbag Nation. They are able to send out messages one-on-one, go over list ideas, tactics, anything you guys want to talk about. When I was getting into 40K, or really any game in general, I always wanted to message the top players in the meta and just ask them questions. This $10 a month tier gets you that opportunity to message us one-on-one on Discord, so that way we can actually coach you, give you our insights, suggestions, and that's going to get you better at the 40K 10th edition as a whole. So that tier alone, just $10 a month to have one-on-one coaching, one-on-one messages anytime throughout the month, that's going to be a perfect tier for you guys. Even if you're brand new to the game, we go over 1,000-point list, 1,500-point list, 2,000-point brand new starting list, team list, anything you guys need. That's what the competitive Dirtbag tier is for. Also, you get a little bit red number name tag on Discord, so people know that you're really serious about getting into the competitive scene. The Grandmaster Dirtbags. This is the all-in-all $25 a month tier. You get one-on-one coaching, everything we said prior to this, but you guys get to see me, Mike, any of the other Dirtbags play your specific list that you want to see tested out live on one of our battle reports. You guys get to mention, suggest videos you guys want to see coming up on patreon.com. So you guys get the above first tier benefit of everything that we do over at Dirtbag Nation. All the support mainly comes from you guys supporting us over here at Dirtbag Nation. And Grandmasters, I can't thank you enough, but for $25 a month, you get one-on-one coaching and anything you want to see live on the tabletop. So you get to see a professional play right in front of you. You guys get to kind of like see it one-on-one, and I'm actually making this specifically for you. There's also TTS events that you guys can suggest. If you guys want to do a first 1 or 2 turn run through on TTS, we can actually log in and coach you one-on-one with that. If you guys see us at any GTs, you guys get special benefits, free dice, stuff like that. Anytime you purchase a merch thing on Discord, you guys get a free limited edition Dirtbag dice sent to you with every single purchase on top of that. So there's a lot of benefits coming up with the Grandmaster Dirtbag. Because I can't thank you enough for supporting us. Definitely let me know which tier would be best for you if you go over to patreon.com and specifically go to a tier. And make sure you don't forget to message me up on Discord. That's where we check every single day. If you guys are really into getting into 10th edition 40K, head over to Patreon, join the competitive Dirtbag or the Grandmaster. Message me as many times as you possibly want, and I'll coach you the best I possibly can on any specific army that you guys play. Mainly our armies right now, currently, going into 2024, is going to be Chaos Space Marines, Grey Knights, Death Guard, and then we have Custodes, Sisters, and I think that's it going into the wings of 2024. But again, any other army that you guys play, we have other coaches lined up for the Dirtbags that are ready to take on that role of the competitive Dirtbag page. So guys, really appreciate it. Thanks for clicking on the video. Thanks for joining the Dirtbag Nation if you guys are already part of us. And we'll see you in another video soon.